tell me a little bit about you. What, like the start of your journey, Mac-A-Doodles here, the other location,
Okay.
just for people who might see this that might not be fully familiar with you and who you are and what you do. Tell me
Okay.
just a little bit.
Well, years ago when there used to be a little ice cream stand, it was in the building 113 lot. People from Stamford will know who that is. It came up for sale one day, and my father-in-law came over and asked me if it was something that I would be interested in doing. And not knowing anything about ice cream, I thought, well, I'll give it a try. So with his help and support, we were able to purchase the building. And he is an amazing businessman.
Okay.
So he gave me some pearls of wisdom throughout the years to help us. I broke just about every piece of equipment in the building. I didn't know what I was doing, but I taught myself how to fix it, how to take things apart, how to maintain it, whatever needed to be done. Also, I was very young. I was only 25 years old. So I needed to also learn how to manage people. It's not a very easy thing as a boss. You have to learn how to treat your employees. So that was difficult. But once we got that going, we had a really strong staff. They had a very high bar there. So we started to get a really good reputation. We started to grow. On Flag Day, I had family and friends come. We'd pull up grills, and we had coolers and tables and tents, and we barbecued, for the community that day. And we just had so much fun together. And that kind of rolled into the community, continuing to ask us if we would, do food. And the building was only 16 by 16, so there wasn't room to make it any bigger or do anything. So that kind of prompted us to start looking at property in the area. So that we could expand. At that point, we owned just the business in the building.
Okay.
We did not own the land.
Okay.
We rented it under the landowner, who was then, at that point, Napa. So we had some things come up and fall through the years. And one morning, my husband was on his way to work. He says, "There's a for sale sign on that corner lot. Do you want it?" And I said, "Yeah, I want it." He picked up the real estate sign, threw it in his pickup truck, and drove right to the agent. And we struck up a deal, and we ended up buying this lot. And when people say they built a business, I literally, with my father and his expertise as a builder, we built this building with our own two hands, alongside my husband and my father-in-law, who owned Sunrise Heating.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to do the spray foaming and the plumbing and the heating, and that finished our little project. And here we are.
Did you keep the other location open while you were building this one?
We did not.
Okay.
We did the building so that we were closed. The ice cream stand there was only seasonal.
Okay.
It was just open for the summer months. So once we closed for the season, we started ground here, and we were able to complete the building in a year.
Wow. Did you have that moment of the day the building's done, you walk in the door for the first time to the completed building, and have any of that, "Oh my God, what did we do?" Oh,
I had so many sleepless nights. I would wake up one morning and go, "What are you doing? You're perfectly fine with your little seasonal business." And then the next morning I'd wake up and I'd be so excited and wanted to see what we could do here and be bigger. But yeah, definitely. When it was all said and done and we were ready to open, it was a very proud moment.
And it shows through in, I think, what you do here, because just by walking around meeting a couple of these people, you realize that you have at least from what I've met, a staff that seems to care.
Oh, definitely.
And they, enjoy being here. I think you've done a great job of cultivating the family environment. And it's real too, right? Because there's a lot of restaurants out there where people walk in and they go to work. It's, yeah, we're all family here. But they all kind of hate each other a little bit. They're not really family, but they like to pretend they are because that's how they get to treat each other poorly. But it does seem, from what I've seen and heard and everything I know about it, you've done an excellent job of actually cultivating that here. So it is commendable, and I think it does a lot to contribute to the success of the restaurant, honestly.
For sure.
That's
Thank
something
you
that
for
not a
saying
lot
that.
of places
Yeah.
do successfully.
Yeah.
So Mac-A-Doodles opens. New Mac-A-Doodles is here. What was the initial response from everyone in the community? What was the vibe like then, and how was it evolved, and compare it to what it is now as far as what it means to you and your customers in the community?
Yeah, we were very well received. A lot of people came. So it was one of the first few weeks we were open, and there was a couple at the window, and the guy was ordering, and his girlfriend, wife, I'm not sure, was adamant she wasn't going to order, and she was standing there with her arms crossed, and the girl at the register is like, "You sure you don't want anything?" She goes, "No." She goes, "I'm not going to support this place who put Mac-A-Doodles out of business," because she thought that
Right.
we stopped working at the ice cream stand because somebody else came here
Squeezed
and
you out.
built this, and we were gone. And I thought that really meant a lot. That was great. And when she found out we were the same people, then they ordered, and so that
Are they
was
still customers?
absolutely. And other thing was, this dining room was actually just a covered porch when Dad and I built this.
Okay.
Concrete slab, picnic tables, and we had so many people in the community want us to stay open and want us to continue with the food and be here, that I went to my dad, and within a year of building this place, and I said, "Would you mind if we enclosed that and made it a dining room?" Nope. So we went to work the next week. We enclosed this. I got this great garage door, which I love because we close and have people come inside in the winter.
Okay.
Because it's too cold to stand outside
Sure.
and wait in line. And then this summer we shift and we close up, so they have to go to the window and have window service. So the garage door is up during the summer where people can come in and out. They can bring their dogs, which they
order out there and
love.
then
They
come
order
up.
out there and come in here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we kind of function differently depending on the season.
Were you at all worried about what people would think about the change? Like, was there any of that? Because you seem to be well established in the other location, and from everything I've gathered, it seemed to be something everyone was welcoming. Was there any part of you that was, I mean, I'm sure there was a part of you that was worried about maybe dropping the ball because you felt like you had an obligation to live up to the expectation, or were you just ready to do it and you knew you were going to do it well? And you seem to be kind of a burn the boat at the beach kind of person and just forward.
If I have something, I'm always driven to be successful.
Okay.
I never give up no matter what needs to be done. So, yeah, I mean, staff is very important. Having the right staff in here, which I do, without them, I can't do it by myself. So having good staff is very important. And sometimes it's tough. People, if they're not here, it has to be me
Right.
that comes in, and that doesn't bother me.
Okay. So I guess one of the big talking points, why we're doing this today, because like we're sitting here talking, and we are here today because you've decided that maybe it's someone else's turn to shepherd Mac-A-Doodles into its next era of greatness, right? So it's time to consider selling.
Yeah, it's time. A few years ago, I started thinking about retirement and what it meant for me and when I would be ready. And, I started a plan. We're now down into the last few years of that plan where I would like to be. And my daughter's getting married shortly, talking about having a family.
Okay.
And being a grandmother is very important to me. It's very, very exciting. And having that come into focus real soon, I want to have the freedom to be grandma. Okay. It was not an easy decision. It's very difficult because this just isn't a business to me. It is who I am.
Right. I knew that from the first time that we spoke, when we started actually talking about you selling it. there was a moment where it became very real, and I could tell it was kind of intense for you. Walk me through a little bit about, if you want to, the thought process and how you got comfortable wanting to sell it, right? Because it's always a hard thing for someone to sell something they've worked so hard on. But to your credit, we do a lot of commercial stuff, and most people in restaurants sell them 5 to 10 years after they've decided they don't want to do it anymore. So it is commendable what you're doing. Selling your baby at its peak is hard.
Very
but
hard.
I think it's also how you ensure your legacy. Because if you sell something that's, a shadow of what it used to be, there's nothing for the next person to usher forward. Whoever takes this over is going to have, something special already in place. So who would be your ideal buyer, or who would you like to see take this forward?
Well, I would like to have somebody who would really care about the business, the employees, and the community, because the three come together. We're very successful here, and I wouldn't want to see it go downhill, kind of fall apart, or, we sell very good quality product here, from the hot fudge all the way up to the chicken that we use, and I would hate to see it get like cheapened down, or, smaller portions and things like that. Ideally, I would say probably somebody who, lives here in the community. So it would be important to them that it stay successful and in where it is today. And knowing that I have time to continue, do what I do every day. I still love it. I'm still, here every day. To be able to have that, let that prospect come into my life whenever it's ready is comforting. I'm not at the end of my game where I need to just let go and go. We still maintain the equipment and, the product, and everyone's happy here and loves what they're doing. So I'd like to continue that right to the very end.
And I think you will, right? Because you've put the same level and a level of attention to detail into your potential exit as you have through the entire process.
Yes.
Right. And, I think as hard as it might be emotionally thinking about it and getting ready for the next part of what's coming, you've...
Bye.
Get out of here. Love you. Talk to you later.
I can't catch you ever.
I know.
What are you doing here? TV shoot?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Right now?
Want to come say hi?
Wow.
You want to say hi?
Yeah.
So who's this?
So this is Fred. We owned a restaurant years ago called Gabrielle's, and he was my head chef.
Okay.
And he ran the whole place for me and taught me lots of things that I bring to this plate today.
Right.
So what's Fred? Fred's just, popping in. You work here? You saying hi?
No, I come in and, I come in and just say hello and, see if she needs anything or whatever. We're friends still now.
All right.
Yeah.
How does Fred feel about the next? Does Fred know about what's coming?
This Fred?
Yeah.
This Fred doesn't know.
Do you want to tell
I
Fred?
do want to tell Fred.
Okay, what's coming?
We're putting Mac-A-Doodles on the market.
Wow.
I'm getting ready to retire.
Wow, good for you.
Be grandma.
Good for you. You deserve it.
Thank
You deserve it. You worked hard. I know Michelle a long time, so I've seen Gabrielle's. I've seen the smaller Mac-A-Doodles when it was in town here, and this place rocks. Well, she's done an unbelievable job in this community here, and Mac-A-Doodles is a staple around here. So
it sure is.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Yeah.
nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, Fred.
See you. Take care, guys.
Oh, yeah.
that's just one of many staff that still pops in to talk to me. And
I mean, but that
they
shows,
do.
though, like,
Yeah.
that's that family atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think a lot of what we just talked about was embodied right there. You know, not open yet, doesn't matter. Family, not family, but family comes on in. He knew he'd be welcome. He knew you'd be happy to see him. So just little things like that are a really good testament to how
Yeah,
well you've done with it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it makes me real happy when old staff does come back
Yeah.
in and say hi, like for years and years. And I love that part too. You know, anytime the community needs anything, like, you know, young children fall on bad times, or there's been an accident, you know, someone local, you know, we're always here. We always, anything they need, they come. You know, everyone always needs a donation or, you know, something like that. And we're always very happy to do things like that. A couple of years ago, there is M&M Motors is just down the street in town. A local automotive repair shop.
Okay.
It burned to the ground. So right away, the staff and I got together. We had a meeting. We wanted to do a spaghetti dinner fundraiser for them. All staff was on board. It was amazing. We were in here. Everyone volunteered their time making meatballs and garlic knots and the sauce. And just this place was just buzzing with so many of us. And it smelled good in here too. And we did desserts. You know, we had, everything was just wonderful. They did like a silent auction little kind of thing and 50-50 raffles, and people from the community were knocking on our door. What can we do? What can we donate? Albano Farms donated all the meat for the meatballs. Like, it was just so nice to see the small community come together for people. And they stayed here throughout the night and thanked people for coming in and getting the dinners and stuff. So, you know, that was a great thing to put forward into the community and help them get through their tough times until they were able to rebuild.
It's nice to see you speak very passionately about things, and we've had a lot of conversation about the restaurant and how you got here with the restaurant, but you can tell most of your passion comes out when you're talking about the community and giving back to the community and what you can do and continue to do for the community and what they mean to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, I think it's a good example of how to do a small town business the right way.
It's
You know.
not easy. Small town
no.
business.
No, it's not easy.
It's a lot of sacrifice, and it's a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. I've lived here my whole life. I think I was 1 or 2 years old when my parents moved here, and my husband and I have raised our 3 children here. So yeah, this town is important to me.
And more impressively, you've managed to navigate small town politics
Yeah.
for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So
When I think about the sale of Mac-A-Doodles, I'd like the community to know that I'm still going to strive every day to put out the experience and the fun that you have come accustomed to. We are still a great staple in this community where families come to have good food and fun. And I just want to let you know that I'm not going anywhere. We're still going to be very active members of this community. My family and I still live here. It'll be a little strange coming here when I don't own it, but would still definitely come.
So what's good also is you don't intend on stopping to grow the business while you're selling it. So it could, which is rare also in these situations, it takes a while to find someone to buy it. Your plan, from my understanding, is to continue to grow it until that point, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I will not be letting any less of my energy into this building just because I'm getting ready to, get to that point to retire. This is still my baby, and I want to see it continue to grow and thrive as much as it can.
Okay. And you'd be, obviously, anyone in the community is, welcome to pop in and talk to you about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Clearly not hiding anything.
Clearly. This
okay.
is a very exciting time. I'm looking forward to it. it'll be very tough to let go at that when it comes to that point, but just to move on and have a little bit more free time with my family and hopefully some grandchildren is very exciting to me.
Amazing.